Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhare Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Nandana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Nandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhare Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Nandana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Nandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Vihari Yashodanandana Vrajajananandana Yamunatira Vajari Shishirata Vrindavan Chandra. Yes, the name of the it is Shishirata Vrindavan Chandra ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki. Shishi Gornitai ki. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Jaya Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Jaya Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So very honored and grateful to have with us His Holiness Bhakti Ratnakar Ambarish Swami Maharaj here this morning. So let's welcome Maharaj to Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Temple by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Maharaj has joined the ISKCON movement way back in 1989, and by 1990, he took up full-time service in Moscow, where he has been very actively and wonderfully preaching Krishna consciousness. And in May 1990, he had the honor of meeting his spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and he was initiated by him in Mayapur during Gaur Purnima of 1992, and he received second initiation in 1994. And so for more than 25 years, Maharaj has been very enthusiastically, actively involved in book distribution, along with many other engagements, propagating Krishna consciousness and enlightening so many people in spiritual knowledge. And in 2016, he took up the renounced order of life, sannyas, and thus has been very actively involved in the ISKCON movement. Recently, he has also taken up the service of Diksha Guru, and thus is inspiring many devotees on the path of Krishna consciousness. So we're extremely grateful to Maharaj for kindly taking out your valuable time to be with us. Yes. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6. Prahlada instructs his demoniac schoolmates. Verse 3. Sukham andriyakam daitya. Sukham andriyakam daitya. Deha yogena dehinam. Deha yogena dehinam. Sarvatra labhyate daivad. Sarvatra labhyate daivad. Yatha dukkam ayatnata. Yatha dukkam ayatnata. Sukham andriyakam daitya. Deha yogena dehinam. Sarvatra labhyate daivat. yatha dukkam ayatnata. Please chant.
Sukham indriyakam daitya
Indriyakam daitya
yogena dehinam
deha yogena dehinam
sarvatra labhyate daivat
sarvatra labhyate daivat
dukkam ayatnataha.
yatha dukkam ayatnata.
Sukham indriyakam daitya
Indriyakam daitya
yogena dehinam
deha yogena dehinam
sarvatra labhyate daivat
sarvatra labhyate daivat
yatha dukkam ayatnataha.
deha ayatnata.
Sukham indriyakam daitya
Indriyakam daitya
yogena dehinam
deha yogena dehinam
sarvatra
sarvatra
labhyate daivat
labhyate daivat
dukkam
dukkam ayatnata. Mataji. Sukamandiyakam daitya deha yogena dehinam sarvatra labhyate dukkam dukkam ayatnata. Daitya deha yogena dehinam sarvatra labhyate daivam dukkam ayatnata. Sukham, happiness, andriyakam, with reference to the material senses. Daitya, oh my dear friends, born in demoniac families, Deha Yogina, because of possessing a particular type of material body. Dehinam, of all embodied living entities. Sarvatra, everywhere, in any form of life. Labhyate is obtainable. Daivat, by superior arrangement. Yadha, just as. Dukhitam, dukkam, unhappiness. Ayatnata, without endeavor. Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear friends, born of demoniac families, the happiness pursued with a reference to the sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life according to one's past fruitive activities. Such happiness is automatically obtained in any form of life without endeavor. Thus, there is no need to waste time and energy fighting against distress or working very hard for happiness. Our only business in the human form of life should be to revive our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become qualified to return home back to Godhead. Material happiness and distress come as soon as we accept the material body, regardless of what form. We cannot avoid such happiness and distress under any circumstances. The best use of human life, therefore, lies in reviving our relationship with the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Sukhamadhyakam daitya deha yogena dehinam sarvatra labhyate daivat yadha dukkam ayatnata. Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear friends, born of demoniac families, the happiness perceived with reference to the sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life according to one's past fruitive activities. Such happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor, just as we obtain distress. Om Magyana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Miritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Garamayam Adasi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shat Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganara Gunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamani Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Auravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyada Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Very important chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada gave classes, especially on the first verse. He gave like 20 classes. He gave 3 classes on this verse. First class he gave in 75 in Vrindavan on this verse. Srila Prabhupada liked very much these teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. They are published in a small book, yeah? Prahlad Maharaj Shiksha, yeah? Srila Prabhupada took so much austerity to produce this Srimad Bhagavatam. It took him 4 years to produce first canto. If he would produce other cantos with same speed, it would take 48 years. Yeah? But by Krishna's arrangement, the dictaphone was invented. So the speed increased like 5 times. And he was able to produce at least 10 cantos, yes, of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he left few volumes for his disciples to produce. And he established these morning classes. They started to read. He brought this first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam to US, and he started to give classes. And after some time, he went to Japan. It was something like 69, I think so. He was given a morning class in Los Angeles. And after the class, he said, I want someone to go to preach to Japan. And no one raised hands. Srila Prabhupada was thinking and he said, okay, anyone will go to Japan and will open the temple, I will personally come and bring him back to Godhead. Very wonderful boon. And Sudama Prabhu, he raised hands. He said, okay, I will go. And he went there with his wife, Chintamani, and he started preaching. They were going out, chanting, and distributing back to Godhead magazine. They opened small center. It was small flat, one room flat. And they started to invite Japanese people for the classes. And Srila Prabhupada was thinking how to help them to develop the preaching. And he decided that one more devotee has to be sent, and Burijan Prabhu, he finished his studies in college. He avoided to be drafted to Vietnam War by Srila Prabhupada's grace. Srila Prabhupada gave him the letter that he is monk, and they did not took him to the war. And Srila Prabhupada said, now you have to go to preach to Japan. These two devotees, they are undergoing so much austerity, someone has to help them. And his parents were collecting money for his marriage. So he came to parents and he said, now I am going with mission to Japan. You have to give this money to me and I will buy a ticket to Japan. Parents were shocked. But finally he convinced them and they gave money and he went to Japan. He joined these two devotees and they started to go out in a team, and two devotees were chanting and one was distributing back to Godhead magazine. And after some time they received a call from Srila Prabhupada. He said, I am coming. It was like 2 or 3 days before Janmashtami. And they came. Srila Prabhupada came with a group of devotees. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was there, and a few other senior devotees were there. They celebrated Janmashtami all day. They were reading Krishna book, fasting and reading Krishna book, and after midnight they broke fast. And Srila Prabhupada announced that tomorrow we would celebrate Vyasa Puja. Nobody knew how to celebrate Vyasa Puja. It was first Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. So next day, they cleaned the room, they took Srila Prabhupada's picture from Vyasasana and put it just lying down somewhere, upside down. And when Srila Prabhupada entered the room, first he saw it was his picture upside down, lying somewhere. He sat on the asana. And Burijan Prabhu started to offer arati, and Srila Prabhupada asked, where is Pushpa? And nobody knew what is Pushpa. And one sannyasi, he was thinking, maybe Srila Prabhupada is hungry. I have to cook Pushpanna rice. And Srila Prabhupada stopped everything and he started to chastise Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Didn't you saw how I am celebrating Vyasa Puja of my spiritual master? He said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, I saw. Why you don't know how to celebrate Vyasa Puja? And Srila Prabhupada gave them instructions how to do Vyasa Puja, what is Pushpa. And he said, okay, tomorrow we will have another attempt to celebrate Vyasa Puja. And they prepared everything according to Srila Prabhupada's instructions. So next day they had another attempt to celebrate Vyasa Puja. It was successful. This was first Vyasa Puja, and after that Srila Prabhupada said from tomorrow, before the class, we would be chanting shloka. Before that, nobody was chanting the shlokas. Srila Prabhupada said that I took so much austerity, I put this Sanskrit word by word translation, and nobody is reading this. From tomorrow, we will repeat the shlokas. And Srila Prabhupada teach them how to repeat after him, line by line. And he asked everybody who was there, like 10 or 15 of them were there, and everyone was repeating after Srila Prabhupada chanted. Next day, he said, we will repeat 2 shlokas. That was day before and present shloka. Next day, 3 shlokas. Next day, 4 shlokas. In this way, they read the whole chapter from second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And at the end, Srila Prabhupada said, tomorrow we will have an exam. Everyone will have to chant the whole chapter in Sanskrit. And one by one, devotees were coming, and Srila Prabhupada was correcting if he was stopping them, correcting, and they again, so it took long time. Everyone was coming one by one, and Burijan Prabhu was the last, and he heard all corrections, so he chanted the best, and Srila Prabhupada congratulated him, oh, you can chant Sanskrit very nicely. It was very nice experience for the devotees. They remember this chapter up to now. And after this visit to Japan, Srila Prabhupada said, I want someone to go to Hong Kong to start preaching in China. And nobody volunteered, so he said, okay, Purijan, you will go. I will give you one sannyasi that will assist you to start the preaching, then he will go, you will remain. And he gave one sannyasi to assist him in preaching. Preacher was more important than sannyasi. In same way, Srila Prabhupada sent another devotee to South Africa, and he gave him one sannyasi to assist. So preaching is more important than to take sannyas. And for some time they were preaching, and sannyasi was preparing to leave, and he asked, you will remain alone, or maybe we can send you some wife to assist you. And Burijan was thinking, and he said, okay, you can send some Mataji. So this sannyasi made a phone call to Los Angeles temple, and he asked, do you have any Mataji that can marry this Burijan? And they said, yes, one new Mataji joined recently, just few weeks. She is going out every day on Harinam, so we can send her to Hong Kong. And they sent her to Hong Kong. This sannyasi performed yagya and married them, and he went away. And they started to preach together, and up to now they are together. By Krishna's arrangement, it was nice. And after some time, they were preaching for like few months. Srila Prabhupada called them and he said, I am coming. In this way, Srila Prabhupada started preaching all over the world. He was sending some disciples. Usually it was like married couples, but sometimes they were not. Some single devotees were preaching. And then after some time he was coming there to support their preaching, because they were very young, like few months chanting 16 rounds. They were most senior devotees. And Srila Prabhupada came to Hong Kong, and he found that only Indian people were coming for the program. And he asked Burijan, what is this? I send you to preach to Chinese. Only Indian people are coming for the program. You have to preach to Chinese. And when Srila Prabhupada was leaving from Hong Kong, he said, I want you to bring one Chinese for initiation to Mayapur festival. Then after a few months, Srila Prabhupada came again, and one Chinese started to come for the programs. He was businessman. And because he was businessman, he wanted to make a present to Srila Prabhupada, so he presented him a golden watch he gave to Srila Prabhupada. And after some time, he started to chant 16 rounds. And he translated Shishopanishad into Chinese. But Burijan Prabhu, he has found that it's not possible for the resident of Hong Kong to get an Indian visa. What to do? And he received a letter from GBC that you are granted visa on arrival. So he decided, maybe Krishna will arrange something. I will bring this boy to Kolkata airport and Krishna will arrange. And he started to pray and they went without visa. They went without visa. Burijan Prabhu had an American passport. He easily got a visa and he entered. But when this man gave his passport, custom man, he was looking through his passport. You don't have a visa? And Burijan Prabhu gave him a letter from GBC. He said, they promised that we are granted visa on arrival. So this customs man, they had a meeting, what to do. And they approached Burijan Prabhu and they said, if you will give some little donation, we will give him a stamp. And Burijan Prabhu had 100 rupees and gave it to them. At that time, it was like big money at that time. And they stamped him. He entered India. They came to Mayapur. At that time, Srila Prabhupada was reading 7th Canto, Chapter 9, Prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. He gave classes on all the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj in 76. And this devotee, he brought translation of Ishopanishad to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada sat him down and said, read out aloud. So for half an hour he was reading Chinese translation of Ishopanishad, and Srila Prabhupada, with huge smile on his face, was hearing this Chinese translation of Ishopanishad. And during that festival, if anybody important person was coming from Calcutta to meet him, he was calling this boy and he was saying to them, he translated Ishopanishad into Chinese, hear this. And for a few minutes he was reading for them Chinese translation. Srila Prabhupada was so happy that he has got one book in Chinese language. And on Guru Purnima Day, Srila Prabhupada gave him initiation. And when he was introducing him to the audience, he said, if one chandan tree appears in the forest, the whole forest becomes fragrant with this chandan. In the same way, if one devotee appears in some place, the whole place will be transformed. And Srila Prabhupada's prediction happened to be true. So many Chinese devotees are there. In every city they have like 100 devotees. They are not registered because it's impossible in China to register some new religious organization. But still they have meetings, they are chanting, reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Now they have full set of Srimad Bhagavatam in Chinese. And Srila Prabhupada gave this devotee name, Yashomadhi Sutadas. He is still in Hong Kong, the only Prabhupada disciple, I think so, in China. And preaching is going on. Srila Prabhupada afterwards sent Tamal Krishna Maharaj to preach there in mainland of China. It was after temple presidents complained to Srila Prabhupada. It was 76. Many temple presidents, they came to Srila Prabhupada in Mayapur and they said, this Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he's stealing all brahmacharis from our temples. He's coming with his buses, and after he's going, we don't have any brahmacharis in the temple. So Srila Prabhupada has called Tamal Krishna Maharaj and he said, do you know that all temple presidents, they are complaining on you? Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, so what to do? Shall I go to China? Srila Prabhupada said, yes. You have to go to China. Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, no, I don't mean exactly to go to China. No, it's Krishna's arrangement. You have to go to China. So it was on Mayapur festival, 1976, that Srila Prabhupada sent him to China. And he sent Gopal Krishna Maharaj to Russia, because he has got a letter. He was BBC trustee in Juhu, and he has got a letter from Moscow that we want full catalog of books of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, and he came to Mayapur with his letter, and Srila Prabhupada said immediately, take full set and go to Moscow. So same year, Tamal Krishna Maharaj went to China and Gopal Krishna Maharaj went to Russia with full set of Srila Prabhupada's books, and everybody wanted to get this set, but they did not have any foreign currencies, only rubles. And he wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada, what to do? They don't have any currency to pay for the books. Srila Prabhupada wrote back that maybe you can exchange these books for some books produced in Russia, and we will sell them in India. And in such a way we will get some money. But then Srila Prabhupada has written to him, okay, give them for free, let them read the books. And he put first set in main library of Moscow, Lenin's library, and second set he put in the main library of St. Petersburg. And first devotees, they were reading books in these libraries because no other books were available. At that time, they did not have any books. So Srila Prabhupada inspired the preaching all over the world. He was sending his disciples. And then he was coming himself, but to Moscow he came himself. He came himself because it was very dangerous at that time to go to Russia. So 1971 he came himself to Moscow. He brought first book, Bhagavad Gita, and he initiated first disciple, Ananta Shanti Prabhu. He initiated him by mail because when he came to Moscow he did not have any beads to chant, and so he just inspired this young boy to start his practice, and then after he went to France, he sent by mail chanted beads and name Anant Shanti Das. And this young man started some little preaching, and Srila Prabhupada was thinking how to teach him, and he decided, I will send one Mataji to marry him and teach him. And he came to London temple, and there was one Mataji that was not married, she was Pujari, Mandakini, famous Srila Prabhupada disciples, she was Pujari, and Srila Prabhupada asked her, did you found somebody to marry? She said, no, Srila Prabhupada. Oh, we have very nice young devotee in Moscow. can you go there and marry him and teach him Krishna consciousness? And she was a little amazed with such proposition, but she said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, I can go there. And she went to Moscow. She was second preacher after Srila Prabhupada. She was going there for some time. She was not granted long-term visa, only like for 1 week. But she was coming a few times, and she returned to Srila Prabhupada and she said, they are not giving me long-term visa, what to do? And he said, okay, you don't have to go anymore there. But Srila Prabhupada was meditating how to come again, so at some point he even wrote a letter to Anand Shanti that I am coming, but it did not happen. Second visit did not happen, so in 1976 he sent Gopal Krishna Maharaj to preach there. And 1977 BBT has got an invitation to participate in the first international book fair in Moscow. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj and Prithu Putra Swami from France, they came together for this international book fair, and they have brought a lot of books. They had a nice display, and hundreds of people were coming, and they were amazed to see such wonderful books. And 3 of them, they became devotees later. They met Srila Prabhupada's books first time on this book fair. It was October of 1977, just 1 month before Srila Prabhupada's departure. At least 3 of them, they became devotees. Mataji Premavati, she became devotee next year, 78, she joined. Mataji Tungavidya Sakhi joined in something like 89, and Krishnanand Prabhu, he joined 86, something like 86. So they became devotees a little later, but they were introduced on this book fair. And also, and Shanti Prabhu arranged a Namahatta program. He invited different people who were interested. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj gave a class to them in 77. And Russian government gave a very nice certificate that Bhaktivedanta Book Trust is making such a big propaganda that brings peace into the world. After they returned to Vrindavan, they gave this certificate to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada was amazed that Soviet Union accepted my books. So anyone was visiting Srila Prabhupada at that period of time, he was showing this certificate. You see, Soviet Union accepted my books. He was so happy. And first Russian book also came in 1977. It was printed here in Mumbai. But it was difficult to bring this book to Russia. So they were distributing this book to Russian tourists coming to India. Also, first Bhagavad Gita was printed here in Mumbai in 86. Bhagavad Gita and Krishna book, Russian. So Srila Prabhupada was preaching like Prahlad Maharaj to demonic civilization. And he was translating this canto something like 75, I think so. It was 75. And HareKrishna Maharaj was traveling with him and transcribing his dictation. So he was the first person who read 7 cantos, the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. And he was completely amazed. And he approached Srila Prabhupada and he asked, Srila Prabhupada, after hearing your translation, I'm thinking that you have same mood as Prahlad Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada said, yes. So if you want to understand Srila Prabhupada's mood, we have to read this Prahlad Maharaj teachings. So Srila Prabhupada confirms that he has same mood as Prahlad Maharaj. He was preaching very vigorously all around the world, and he was inspiring so many disciples to preach in the same way. So that's why preaching was so successful. Devotees went all over the world. Once Srila Prabhupada was on transit from Australia to Hawaii, and he had a transit in Fiji. He was there for something like 20 minutes, and he met one gentleman there. He spoke with him, and he became first devotee in the Fiji. Such a powerful preacher. Even first person whom he met in Boston. Yes, Jaladuta just arrived into Boston Harbor, and the American boat was next to him. This was a military boat, and they were greeting all foreign boats. And this man, he was putting up American flag to greet this Jaladuta, and he saw Srila Prabhupada standing on the boat, and he waved him a hand. And Srila Prabhupada also saw this person, and he smiled and waved him hand. And 2 years later, he became a brahmachari. He joined ISKCON, and after some time, he became a sannyasi, Chavana Swami, very famous preacher at that time. Just for a few moments, he saw Srila Prabhupada, and his life completely changed. He became a devotee after 2 years. Such a power of Mahabhagavat devotee. He could glance on somebody, his life was becoming transformed. Also, devotees from Germany are describing one story. They had one man, he was coming every day to take prasadam. He was not chanting, he was not practicing. He just liked prasadam, and he was eating like 3 plates every time. He had a big hunger for prasadam. And one day, Srila Prabhupada arrived to France, and all devotees were loading cars to go to Srila Prabhupada, and this man came just to eat prasadam. And they said, jump into the car. We are going to meet Srila Prabhupada. And he was a little afraid, because he came only to eat prasadam. But somehow they convinced him. So he joined them, he went to France with them. To go to France, it's like go from Pune to Mumbai, it's same distance. So they went to France. And for 5 days, Srila Prabhupada was giving classes. Like 500 devotees from different countries of Europe came to meet Srila Prabhupada. It was like a big festival. And the time came, Srila Prabhupada was leaving. And this huge crowd was surrounding his car. And this man happened to be just in front of Srila Prabhupada's window. And the crowd was very big, so they were pushing, and his face was in the window of Srila Prabhupada. And when they returned back to Germany, he started to chant 16 rounds. And devotees were amazed. What happened? And he said, he looked at me. Just one look from Srila Prabhupada, and he understood that I have to chant 16 rounds. Such a powerful person. He changed lives of millions of people. And now we are getting all these fruits because Srila Prabhupada was traveling tirelessly 14 times around the world. It was huge austerity even for a young man to travel 14 times around the world. he can die. But Srila Prabhupada was 70 plus year old, yes. He was traveling like anything, preaching. Not just he was sightseeing, he was preaching, he was translating, he was meeting hundreds of people. Very big austerity. He performed that we would become devotees. So we have to take seriously this opportunity, and also if we want to thank Srila Prabhupada, we have to preach. We have to preach, we help more and more people to become devotees. So this is a mood of Prahlad Maharaj. He was preaching to his classmates. They were like 5 years old boys, and he is preaching to them such elevated topics. Because he himself was completely convinced, all of them, they became devotees. All his friends. So we also have to be convinced. We have to read Srila Prabhupada's books every day. Then it will be easy to convince others. If we are not convinced ourselves, how we will convince others? They will have many doubts. But if we are convinced, we also can convince many people. So we have to follow in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, we have to follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, his followers. Then we will achieve success of life. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions? Yes. We have mic.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for the inspirational walkthrough of the entire, the mercy that Srila Prabhupada has given in the form of his purpose and the devotees like yourself and all the mercy that we are getting. Maharaj, in this purport, there was a mention, I think in the translation or in the purport, that just like suffering is coming, similarly without endeavor, happiness will also come. But Maharaj, my question is actually related to grihasthas, like, because being in family life, without endeavor obviously is not possible, because we have to do something. So how do we balance how much to do and how much not to do? Because it's not only about our personal happiness, but also there are responsibilities and dependents from our parents and other children and other people. So how do we balance? So just without endeavor, how the grihasthas have to understand?
Yes, this chapter is coming a little later, chapter 14, 7 Canto, chapter 14, Ideal Family Life. And there Srila Prabhupada is giving particular numbers. Yes, he's saying that one has to work not more than how many hours? 8 hours. He's saying that's 8 hours. You put all your efforts, whatever you will get in these 8 hours, you have to be satisfied with that. Not that you are working for 18 hours, no time for chanting, no time for hearing, no time for anything spiritual. So this is balance. This is balance. You have to keep a balance, and you will have time for chanting, for hearing, to make spiritual progress. So, very nice explanation is this 14th chapter. You can read it. Srila Prabhupada is giving everything in that chapter. Yes.
Yeah, just one more question, Maharaj. You were mentioning how that international book fair which happened in 1976 or 77.
77. Yes.
Right?
First.
Yeah. So Maharaj, actually, those times the books were being actually, people were looking to reading books. But in today's age, if you see the youngsters in general, they are not very keen in reading books. They would like to see videos and they would like to hear or they see summary. So in today's time and age, Maharaj, how do you see this, our BTGs and the books, people being enthusiastic to read themselves rather than us pushing them? So this reading habit is going down. So what is your...
For this marathon, India has distributed 4 million Bhagavad Gitas. How is it possible if nobody is interested? 4 million Bhagavad Gitas were distributed just in this Live to Give campaign in India only. So there is interest. There is interest. People are still reading books. We have to continue. We have to continue. We ourselves have to be convinced that these books are very valuable. Then we can convince others that they have to read these books. Chaupati Temple this year became #1 in the world for Prabhupada's marathon. They were very eager to satisfy Srila Prabhupada, and so it happened.
Thank you, Maharaj, Hare Krishna, for telling so many preaching stories about Prabhupada, how he met devotees in many places across the globe. So, Maharaj, I was just thinking, like in India, Prabhupada faced maximum challenges and obstacles. Although India is land of Krishna and all his god brothers were there, everybody was there. So, my question is, in his own country land, he had to face so many obstacles. And we also, when we are preaching in colleges and corporates, we also face so many challenges. Although these people, they claim we know Krishna, we know Ram, and we know everything about God. So how do we continue with our endeavor without getting discouraged? Hare Krishna.
Do you know what Srila Prabhupada said when he was born in Jaladuta? What Srila Prabhupada said when he was born in Jaladuta? He said, I will never come back again to this country. He was so frustrated with the preaching in India. But Krishna had another plan. He had to come back because here people also need some mercy. That's why devotees are continuing preaching in many places. They are facing so much austerity. Like yesterday, one devotee sent me photos from Morocco. Do you know Morocco? It's a Muslim country. You can be killed if you are preaching some other message than traditional religion there. And he is distributing books there. Because yoga is allowed in this country, and he is distributing perfection of yoga. He sent me videos, he is giving them books and chanting together with them Hare Krishna, and they are smiling like anything, Hare Krishna. Muslim people. They are buying books, they are chanting Hare Krishna. So there are many obstacles all over the world, not only in India. When devotees started to distribute books in England, they were put into the jail every day. If you will ask Bhakti Maharaj, he will tell you 100 stories how he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam in the jail because he did not have time to read in the temple. He was very happy when he was arrested, and he read the whole Bhagavatam in the jail because every second day he was in the jail after book distribution. You don't have this problem here in India. Nobody puts you in the jail. So it's not a big austerity here. When the devotees were starting the movement all over the world, they faced very severe austerities. Some of them, they were in jail for a few years in Russia. 2-3 years they were in jail. So it's not a big austerity, just very small austerities that you are facing here. So you can go on, try and pray. So there has to be effort and there has to be prayer. Yes? Because our efforts are limited. We have some limits to our efforts. But Krishna's grace is unlimited. So when we are making our effort, we also have to pray. Please, make me dance, make me dance, make me dance. Like Srila Prabhupada is saying in his prayer, yes? Nachao, nachao, mate, nachao, se mate. Yes, he is saying, please make me dance like a puppet. That was his mood. Same way, Shukadeva Goswami, before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, he is praying, give me the words that will touch the heart of other people, yes. So we have to pray that Krishna would give us intelligence, he will give us proper words that will touch the hearts of people, make us dance, so then we will be successful.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for telling wonderful pastimes of Prabhupada. I have two questions. Just like I heard somewhere, like Prabhupada said, whether it is true or not, I want to know, and why. Prabhupada said that Chinese will be the last and the best in Krishna consciousness. So whether this statement is true and why he said like that. And another is, in Russia you told that they sent a big certificate to Prabhupada in Mayapur, appreciating his books. Then what went wrong in 1980s that Russian government were after devotees torturing them, Sarvabhaum Prabhu and Sachisud Prabhu, like, so what happened? What was the change in the government's attitude?
Chinese are very serious. If they are taking something, they will do it up to the end of their life. They are very serious. Chinese, Japanese, if they are accepting something, that is for the rest of their life. Not like today, I'm practicing, tomorrow, no. They are very serious. They are very slow. They are investigating what is this, is it good or not. But if they accept this, so they will become very serious. That's why Srila Prabhupada said they will be the last, because it takes long time for them to accept something. Russian is the opposite. They are easily accepting, easily living. And what happened in Russia, the communist government became very disturbed after some time, because many people, they started to leave the Communist Party. That was great shock for them. For 70 years, nobody was leaving Communist Party. And now they are leaving Communist Party. They are starting to become vegetarian. It's very dangerous for communism. So they arrested HareKrishna Maharaj. He was preaching from 78 to 81. 3 years he was initiating devotees, preaching there. But in 81 he was arrested. They put him in aeroplane with Kirtiraj Prabhu. They were preaching together. Both of them, they were GBC for Soviet Union for many years. And they put them into aeroplane and they sent a fighting jet. It was following them up to the border of Europe because they were very afraid of them. They saw the great effect it has. It has great effect. People are leaving the Communist Party. They are becoming something else. So they were very afraid. So they banned to enter the country for any preachers. For many years, nobody was able to enter Soviet Union. But devotees started the Harinams opposite the Soviet embassies all over the world. From 85 to 88, from few years, devotees were doing like protest Harinams in all the countries. And when Russian President Gorbachev came to England, he met Margaret Thatcher and he said, "Why are you bothering these Hare Krishna devotees? What is wrong with them?" Then he met in America Reagan and he said, "Why are you bothering these Hare Krishna devotees?" When he came back in 88, he immediately called the religious department and he said, "Register Hare Krishna." But it was very difficult to find Hare Krishna. They were hiding. So it took them a long time to find one Hare Krishna devotee. And they said him, "Please sign you should bring 30 people that would sign the paper, and nobody wanted to sign the paper because they were afraid they will sign the papers and they will go to jail. Only Mataji has agreed to sign the paper. 29 Matajis, they signed the paper, but one signature was lacking. So one devotee, he convinced his mother to sign the paper. She was not at all a devotee, but she signed the paper. And HareKrishna was registered in Moscow in 1988. It was registered before Christians, before Muslims. Nobody was registered, only HareKrishna. That was great miracle that happened. From 88, more preachers started to come. Gopal Krishna Maharaj started to come in 88. Then Indradyumna Swami came, Niraj Maharaj came. And in 89, Harikesh Maharaj printed 200,000 books in Russian. It was very, because the new law came that one can import religious books. So he printed them, but it took few months to cross the border because people on the border, they said, we don't know anything about this law. The trucks were standing for a long time and devotees were doing Harinam. In Moscow, protest Harinam, please give us our books. And after maybe 1 month, they allowed books to enter. So this was first Prabhupada marathon in 89. All devotees went on the streets with these books. You have to just go out like this, and people started to surround you. Is this book about God? Yes. And in 1 minute you don't have any books anymore. They had such strong spiritual hunger. For 70 years they were not allowed to read books about God. And now it was allowed. But no books were available, only Bhagavad Gita. So everybody was buying Bhagavad Gita. It was very ecstatic to distribute books at that time. Just go out and as much books you will bring, as much you will distribute. So in 1990 we were distributing from tables. And we were putting the crowd into the queue because crowd was very big. We were putting them into the queue and they have to stand like 20, 30 minutes just to get to the table to buy books. And the books were very expensive. Salary was 100 rubles and Bhagavad Gita was 25 rubles. Very expensive. It's like now 5,000 rupees. Can you distribute Bhagavad Gita for 5,000 rupees on the street? But they had such a strong spiritual hunger. They were buying for a huge price.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. So nicely you related Prahlad Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada struggle. Maharaj, while preaching, we have to face so many forces. So like our anarthas and opposition from people, senior, junior plans, we have to cooperate with them. So in this case, how to keep our desire for preaching so that it will not get weakened?
First of all, we have to preach by our own example. They want to see a happy person. They want to follow a happy person when they see somebody who is very rich, very happy. They are following him, yes? So if they see that you are happy, you are accomplished in your work, they will ask, what is the secret of your success? They will come on their own to ask questions. Because they will see something that I don't have. I'm not happy. I'm working so hard, but I'm not happy. And he is happy. So first of all, we have to preach by our own example, especially Grihastha devotees. They should show the good example and people will follow. Everyone is looking for happiness, so they will follow. Yes.
Maharaj, there is any book that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj preached in Russia? Is there in book somebody wrote?
There is no book. We have to write something because it was amazing. It was amazing. He has got some special power from Srila Prabhupada to preach in Russia. It was very amazing. But we need some separate time because it's already 9:20. Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.